Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, I want to read a little Kṛṣṇa book. Can hardly wait to begin to hear the beautiful prayers that are going to be offered by Lord Brahmā after he got zapped. And he got so much realization of the unlimited nature of Kṛṣṇa, personality, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we read that, but before that, I want to take a little closer look at the Nishinga prayers. They're usually sung at the end of an arti ceremony. I want to take a look at them a little closer. Prayers for protection. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. From demoniac entities. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kṛṣṇa in his demon-killing aspect. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, the scientists are very attracted to studying and analyzing energy. But they have yet to approach spiritual energy. That still remains out of their reach because they don't know the science for studying spiritual energy. They don't know the science of surrender to Kṛṣṇa, devotional service, bhakti yoga. That's the science for studying devotional, spiritual energy. So they have yet to appreciate that there is a science. They're good with the earth, the water, the fire, the air. They're working on the ego one. That's the psychology science. They try to study intelligence, IQ test. Put the square peg in the round hole. IQ test, intelligence quota. But the spiritual energy, that one remains out of their reach. So this is these are mantras to invoke the protection of Kṛṣṇa in his form as a Shingadev, who specifically protects his devotee. Namaste Shingaya Dayani Hiranyakashipu Bhakshaha Ila Prahlāda was being tormented by his father, Hiranyakashipu, for his attachment and love for Vishnu. His father just couldn't stand it anymore. And so his father resorted to tormenting him in different ways. Poisoned his food, threw him in a pit of snakes, had him thrown off a cliff, had demons come and try to poke him with swords and tridents, tried to get him crushed by an elephant, but nothing was working because he was chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa was there, he caught him. So when he fell off the cliff, he caught him. The demons, they couldn't poke because he put a barrier around him. The poisoned food didn't bother him. Like that. The venom of the snakes had no effect because he was absorbed in Kṛṣṇa. His body was spiritual body. So the material onslaughts had no effect. So translation is, I offer my obeisances to Lord Nrsimha, who gives joy to Prahlāda Maharaj, and whose nails are like chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Lord Nrsimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrsimha is there. He's in the heart and he's outside as well. I surrender to Lord Nrsimha, the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. So that was Prahlāda's consciousness, and Kṛṣṇa, in his form as Lord Nrsimha, was protecting him from the attacks. And then this particular verse is from Sri Dasavatar Stotra, the Gita Govinda, written by Jayadev Goswami. Tavikara Kamala Varenaka Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari. So not only does Kṛṣṇa protect Prahlāda, his devotee, but he kills a demon. So the translation is, O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half lion, half man, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. Jai Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. So still a couple minutes left before the top of the hour. Let's start on some of Lord Brahmā's prayers. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Summary study of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. wonderful Kṛṣṇa book. Prayers offered by Lord Brahmā to Lord Kṛṣṇa. So Lord Brahmā stole the calves and boys and hid them to see what Kṛṣṇa would do. And Kṛṣṇa expanded himself in Vishnu forms to replace the missing calves and boys, so the residents of Vrindavan wouldn't be too distressed. What happened was their ecstasy increased because they were relating to what they thought were their children, who were actually Vishnu forms, and they were getting in more and more ecstasy when their actual children had been taken away by Lord Brahmā. So the ecstasy actually increased in Vrindavan. And then when he realized his mistake, Kṛṣṇa revealed that he became totally bewildered. What's going on here? I don't understand. And Kṛṣṇa revealed that these were all him. He had expanded personally. And they were all four-armed forms, and they were all Vishnu forms. So many that it was too much for Lord Brahmā. He blew a gasket. He surrendered. It's like, oh, what a fool I am. So now he's going to offer beautiful prayers. Brahmā said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipful Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I am offering my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. Your bodily features are of the color of clouds filled with water. You are glittering with a silver electric aura emanating from your yellow garments." Actually, up to that point, Lord Brahmā had his realization of the personality of Godhead was Vishnu form. He was born from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, lying in the ocean there. And in every universe, there is a living entity that is emanated, born from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expansion. It's for maintaining the universe. So his realization of the personality of Godhead went that far and not any further. But now the personality of Godhead, the source of Karanadakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, the source of everything and everyone, is actually appearing as a little cowherd boy in Vrindavan for pastimes, for pleasure, to play. And this is now what he's encountered. He's getting the mercy from personality of Godhead in his Kṛṣṇa form. He can't really enter Vrindavan. He tried and he kind of blew it. He came in almost like a demon, stole the cows. Well, he wasn't a demon, but he didn't recognize Kṛṣṇa. But now he's getting the mercy. He says, "Let me offer my respectful, repeated obeisances unto the son of Maharaj Nanda, who is standing before me with a conch shell, earrings, and peacock feather on his head. His face is beautiful. He's wearing a helmet, garlanded by forest flowers, and he stands with a morsel of food in his hand. He is decorated with cane and bugle. He carries a buffalo horn and flute. He stands before me with small lotus feet. My dear Lord, people may say that Kṛṣṇa, 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 Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa. My dear Lord, people may say that I am the master of all Vedic knowledge and I'm supposed to be the creator of this universe. But it has been proved now that I cannot understand your personality, even though you are present before me just like a child. You are playing with your boyfriends, calves and cows, which might imply that you do not even have sufficient education. You are appearing just like a village boy, carrying your food in your hand and searching for your calves. And yet, there is so much difference between your body and mine. I cannot estimate the potency of your body. As I've already stated in Brahmā, your body is not material. In the Brahmā, it is stated that the body of the Lord is all spirit. There is no difference between the Lord's body and his self. Each limb of his body can perform the actions of all the others. The Lord can see with his hands, he can hear with his eyes, he can accept offerings with his legs, he can create with his mouth. Hare Kṛṣṇa. You try to do that. See how far you get. Brahmā continued, your appearance as a cowherd child is for the benefit of the devotees. Although I have committed offense at your lotus feet by stealing away your cows, boys, and calves, I can understand that you have mercy on me. That is your transcendental quality. You are very affectionate toward your devotees. In spite of your affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahmā, the Supreme Personality of this universe, cannot estimate the childlike body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? And if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body, then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance, and disappearance of the Lord becomes immediately eligible to enter into the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. This statement is also confirmed in the Vedas, and it is stated simply, by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge. The best process of understanding you is to submissively give up the speculative process and try to hear about you, either from yourself, as you have given statements in the Bhagavad Gita and many similar Vedic literatures, or from a realized devotee who has taken shelter at your lotus feet. One has to hear from a devotee without speculation. One does not even need to change his worldly position. He simply has to hear your message. Although it is not understandable by the material senses, simply by hearing about you, one can gradually conquer the nescience of misunderstanding. By your grace only, you have become revealed to a devotee. By your grace only, you become revealed to a devotee. You are unconquerable by any other means. Speculative knowledge without any trace of devotion is simply a waste, useless waste of time in the search for you. Devotional service is so important that even a little attempt can raise one to the highest perfectional platform. One should not, therefore, neglect this auspicious process of devotional service and take to the speculative method. By the speculative method, one may gain partial knowledge of your cosmic manifestation, but it is not possible to understand you, the origin of everything. The attempt of persons who are interested only in speculative knowledge is simply wasted labor, like the labor of a person who attempts to gain something by beating the empty husk of a rice paddy. A little quantity of paddy can be husked by the grinding wheel, and one can gain some grains of rice. But if the skin of the paddy is already beaten by the grinding wheel, there is no further gain in beating the husk. It is simply useless labor. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. On every page of Prabhupada's books, everything is spelled out. The essence of Krishna consciousness is there. Simply by hearing back from Krishna in the revealed scriptures, or hearing from a devotee who has realized Krishna, Hare Krishna, that's the process. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hearing and chanting. It's like, and you just put food in your mouth and it just stays there, it doesn't go anywhere. You really can't, body can't do much with it. But if you eat it, you swallow it, and you digest it, then there's nourishment. So just hearing is very good. It goes in. But then, to assimilate it, digest it, that's the chanting. Hare Krishna, it becomes, I remember hearing that if you read something or hear something of the truth, that's good. But then if you repeat it at least 3 times, it becomes yours. You won't lose it. So hearing, yes, but not like in one ear and out the other hearing. The chanting holds it. Hearing and chanting, hearing and chanting, hearing and chanting. It stays. It doesn't just go in one ear and out the other. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. It's digesting. Tasting, digesting, assimilating. It goes in and it stays. Hearing and chanting. Like, actually, just reading this. Like, if I was just sitting here reading silently, that would be very nice. But by reading out loud, there's a whole new experience, a whole new... There's more going on by reading out loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hearing and chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The medicine